Hello everybody, today we would be understanding the jurisprudence and scope of cyber laws. The objectives of this module would be to understand the evolution of computers and also to analyze the scope and meaning of cyber laws. The topics that would then be covered would be to understand the general evolution of computers and to understand the meaning and scope of cyber law. This would in turn involve the evolution of computers in the sense of understanding the 5th generation of computers, the functioning of a modern computer, what is a meaning of a computer as per the law. This would also involve understanding the evolution of the internet and understanding the concept of the www or the World Wide Web, the meaning of internet protocols, which involves the TCP IP, the SMTP and the internet protocol address and also the domain name system. Now we would begin with understanding what is the need of a cyber law. Individuals have come to be extremely dependent on electronic media for a variety of reasons, therefore making the computer one of the most significant aspects of most individuals' lives today. In turn, individuals tend to depend on computers in the most diverse ways, which can range from calculation of bills to withdrawal of money through an ATM. While these appear to be traditional reasons for using computer systems, individuals today primarily depend on computers to communicate with one another. Against this backdrop, this chapter would discuss the jurisprudence and scope of cyber law. In order to attain a deep understanding of both the jurisprudence and scope of the subject matter at hand, one must understand what a computer is in the first place, and the reason being that without the existence of a computer, there can be no cyber law and no cyberspace. Now we would understand what is jurisprudence of cyber law. The term jurisprudence is seeking to understand the philosophy of law. Hence, jurisprudence seeks to analyze the underlying principles of law and also how the law functions in a given legal system. For this purpose, jurisprudence analyzes the role and impact or influence of the society in which the law is supposed to govern on the law. Now we would understand the historical origins of cyber law. The term cyber owes its origins to the term cybernetics, which is in turn derived from the Greek word Kubernetics or governor. Norbert Wiener, an American mathematician, coined the term cybernetics in the 1940s to describe the theory of communication. Subsequently, the term cybernetics came to be popularly known as cyber. What is then the meaning of cyber law? Cyber law is the law that governs cyberspace. Hence, it means the law that governs not only the internet, but also electronic data which may be stored in a stand-alone computer system. The reason for including data stored in a stand-alone computer is because one had to include merely communication processes occurring via the internet. The term would be extremely narrow in scope. This would in turn leave out computer systems from the scope of cyber law, thereby creating confusion as to the law applicable in order to regulate electronic data stored in a stand-alone computer. Now we would understand the rise of computers and the complexities of the current era. While in a traditional society, legal wrongs were committed with a person being physically present at the scene of the crime, the same is certainly not the case in today's modern age of computers. This has consequently given rise to a number of eventualities. Hence, the modern era of computers has made possible situations where a person may be in London and may nevertheless hack or gain access to confidential details on another person's computer as a result of cloud computing. But why do we need a cyber law? For most, the urgency of having a legal regime to regulate activities taking place in cyberspace arises from the fact that the revolution of the internet has completely disregarded traditional jurisdiction. Hence, while countries possess jurisdiction over acts which may be administrative, judicial or legislative that occur within the national boundaries, there may be times while jurisdiction is also assumed over acts taking place across the border. A prominent example of the same would be the case of international crimes. However, the age of the internet has given rise to various complexities which have in turn disregarded traditional notions of sovereignty and jurisdiction. Examples of cybercrimes are theft of personal information, spamming, virus threat, pornography, hacking, wrong information, confusion to choose the correct information and internet addiction.